Okay, let's continue Python hands-on exercise for next nested list. You may remember is a nested we can have a list inside list. There is called nested list, and you can access element in them using multiple indexes. Nest, when we say nest, then bracket 1 2 3, another bracket 4 5, another bracket, target. So as you see, this is the nested list where the last element is itself a list. So this is already defined. So when we define this one, we can consider nest. When we say like index 3, 1 2 3, so when you consider nested as a, so here index 0 1 2, this is the index 3, so should be output should be this one exactly, because this is the 0, this is 1, order 2 3. And if I change this one to 2, the result is that one. If I change it 3, this will be this. If I add one more like this one, this is this meaning in the first touch, 1 2 3 means number 3, and saying in index 2, so here 0 1 2, so should be result should be target, only target, because saying that giving the address, saying index 3, so index 3 here, and saying index 3 index 2, so index 3, this is 0 1 2, so should be target, right? And then if showing, because showing this target, then can you tell me if I press this one, what would be happen? Please pause the video. What is the answer? So here saying in the 3, inside 3 index, there is 2, so this is 2. So inside 2 is a 0, should be without bracket shows. Okay, yes. So this is finished. Let's go for another data structure, because this nested was part of nested. We can make it smaller. So if I want to make it smaller, double here, because that was inside, oops, sorry, So let's dictionary. So dictionaries is as we already explained, dictionary is another data structure. So we started from data type, coming to the data structure, talk about the list, now to dictionary. In a Python, dictionary are a type of data set, right? Data structure that store collection of element, but that element is key and value pairs, not one. Key value. You can think of them like a real word dictionary, where a word, that means key, maps to its definitions the value. Unlike list, dictionary are unordered, meaning items don't have a specific sequence or order. This is the point. So let's make it some dictionary. So when we say like remember dictionary was the list was bracket, but dictionary is a curly bracket, the difference. So when we say key 1 colon item 1, simply like this. Again, key 2 colon single quotation, right? Item 2. Suppose we are going to see the output. Okay, D. Then if you want to do like I want to only key 1, right? Key 1 item 1 come, only item come. Remember, as I mentioned, in the cell only last line executed, not the other. So if I change it to, you know that this is item 2. So let's give one more example, like a student. We are making dictionary, right? Curly bracket. We could say name is a double quotation or single quotation. It would be okay. Colon name, for example, Abul Qasim. Age. Can you guess how old I am? 40. And grade colon. Of course, I am always A+. So this is what I defined. Then I want to print. So I want to print what a student, my dictionary. So result is what we need to here. So the column here, name a student, right? What is the problem here? This is okay. A student, Abul Qasim, already assigned the value and print. Because you know, when I assign Abulqasem should be saying this is the string, right? Because saying not defined, yes, that is okay. And then if I want to print only Abulqasem, this is the dictionary, right? I could say print a student, specifically saying I want to name. So take the key and value come. So you see the value come. Maybe you ask why 2 line run? Here only one last line run, because we use the print. Whenever you use the print, should be print everything. But here I didn't use the print. So you can see the output is both. Okay, so let's try adding value. I could add like let's say make another one like this dictionary student. Let's change, modify. Double or is okay. Age. Then not 40. I want to say, okay, the true is 41. So then I can add, I can also add the new dictionary element. For instance, a student new one, even not exist before, major. Computer science. And then I print a student. So when I'm asking, so can you imagine what would be happen? I am saying change, okay, this one, and add one more element here. Yes, you see this already added. I can use like delete element from a student. I can use same cell or make a new cell. Both is possible. But to save the time, del, I just type here like age. So I'm saying, okay, delete this one. You see, if I run it, age will be disappear. You see, no age. We can also use some sort of mix with the for. Let another one. For instance, we can use for key and value, right? In a student, I am giving little bit complicated example item. So very clear. So saying from make it for loop, whole element, then print what? Print, let's use fstring, showing key column, then show the key value from the dictionary, and value column, bring the value from the dictionary. So see, using the fstring, bring the variable inside a string. We already explained. So the error come because should be, I guess, items problem. Yeah, items, yes. The line number 1. Yeah, okay, there is, we need column. So column problem here is okay. Okay, in the item here we need column. I think now is okay. I guess now it will be work. Expected because of indentation. Okay, so we need one tab using. Now it is okay. So see, we already make a loop. Our element, bring here every element because we remove the age. So this is the dictionary. Okay, let's go for another data structure, tuple. So we already talked before. In Python, tuples are another type of data structure. You remember, right? Similar to list, but they are immutable. But list is mutable, means changeable. Immutable, when tuple immutable means that once a tuple is created, you cannot change its element. Tuples are often used when you want to ensure that a collection of value remain unchanged throughout the execution of your program. This is the point what we need. So let's make some tuple. Suppose tuple, point is here, tuple is a parenthesis, not bracket is for list, curly bracket for dictionary. Tuple is a parenthesis. 1, 2, 3. So then when I'm saying T0, very clear, 1 will be shown, right? Then as I told you, we can then what would be the result if I press this? Can you tell me? Pause the video. Okay, press. Yes, would be error because we cannot, is immutable. That is error because does not support item assignment. This is the characteristic of tuples. And other things same, replace, add, similar to the list. I think this is enough. Let's go for set to save time. So if I use, I don't remember we use italic or not before. By the way, I use same as tuple. Okay, sets. In Python, sets are another important data structure. Sets are unordered collection of unique items, which means that they automatically remove any duplicate element. We talk a lot about the sets. Sets are particularly useful when you want to ensure that your collection only contains distinct value. So in that case, let's see, and sets is a similar dictionary, and let's create one set. For example, like dictionary is a curly bracket 1 2 3. So this we already make a set, and then the set initially contains several, this is not several duplicated items, but what if I add 1, again 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So what would be happen? Very interesting. This is 1, 2, 3. Why? Because set only, we are using set data structure when we want to make sure that our collection very specific, data structure. So this is the very important point of the set. Already data type and data structure finish. Now let's dive into algorithm, which is very important for us. So let's make big one. Algorithms in Python. Then let's start with simple one, comparison operators. Let's make little bit smaller and maybe italic. Comparison operators. Like you may remember when we say 1 bigger than 2. So comparison operator in the Python used for compare, right? When we want to, the result always is the Boolean. What is the result? 1 is bigger than 2? Of course not. So false. So if I change a smaller, it is true, right? If I could say 1 is bigger and equal to 1, so of course is equal, true. And then 1, for example, smaller and equal 4. Again, what is the answer? Tell me. It's true, right? True. And how about 1 equal 1? This is true. We can also use a string. How? For instance, instead of integer, let's say high. Is it high equal to high? So here consider what is the answer if high equal, so true. Then if something else, by, of course, is false. So this is comparison operation. So let's go for some logic operators. Logic operators. Like, for instance, 1 bigger than 2 and 2 smaller than 3. So what would be the result? Since the operation is AND, 1 is bigger than 2. This is false. 2 is smaller than, this is okay, true. But since it is AND should be both true. Result would be false. Then if we use OR, then the result changed to true. And let's say another one, for example, 1 equal 2 or 2 equal 3 or 4 equal 4. Here, the first two conditions are false. Why? Because this is not true. This is both is false. But the last condition is true. So overall result would be what? Because one of them true, overall is true. Because OR operator, one is true, whole would be true. Okay, this is enough. Let's go for control structure. Control structure. We talked about this before. Let's say about some statement. So I need to say like if I want to make it smaller. If elif else statements. Okay. Conditional statement in Python, right? Allow us to execute a certain block of code based on the condition. The if statement evaluate the condition, and if it is true, the block of code inside the if statement is executed. You can also use elif. Elif means else if, to check additional condition, and then else to run code if none of previous condition were true. Let's try it. If 1 is smaller than 2, comma, oh sorry, smaller than 2 comma, then print let's say yep. So okay, oh, should be, then run it. The error comes because it should be tab. Should be, yeah, smaller. Remember that should be not capital 1. Okay. Now we can make if else. For instance, let's add else. Else, comma, print last. So if 1 is smaller, so in this code, since the condition of 1 smaller than 2 is a true, it prints the result here. Okay, let's make a here to make it first. So let's show to which one is going to run. This is the first and this is the second. So it will be run here. 1 is smaller. So if I change to this is bigger, since if is bigger than 1 is wrong, then should be last printed, right? Yes, last. So we can also write another code to explain about another conditions with elif. If 1 equal 2, comma, print let's say first, and then consider elif 3 equal 3, comma, print consider middle so we have a elif and else, all of them here. So print consider last. So see, in this example, the first condition 1 equal 2 is right or wrong? Is wrong, so it's false. So elif condition 3 equal 3 is check. Since this is the true, it prints middle. And then else block is a skip, so not going here. So should be result middle. Let's check. Yes. Okay, so we already checked this, if else and elif as well. Let's go for another control, another famous control, which is for loop. So make it, we used for how many? Okay, we used 2, so let's use 2. For loops. For loops in Python allow you to iterate over a sequence like a list and execute a block of code for each element in sequence. So let's define one list. So for list we need, remember, bracket. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So let's write one for item in sequence print what? For example, item. So what would be result? Can you imagine? So we use usually very useful combination of the for loops and list data structure. Here showing that take the item and print it. So will be print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably yes, like this. Yes, exactly. These loops iterate over each element in the list sequence. For each iteration, it's print current item. So it prints 1, 2, and so on. So if we use list, it will be like this. How about not using list? Just we use this one, copy, and item here is related to the list. For instance, we put it AI and big data course. Then what would be result? The number here saying not get the item from sequence. This is print this one, but the loops number is the number of sequence item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times should be repeat here. AI and big data course, AI big data course, right? Yes, exactly. So instead of printing the actual list item, it's print this string, means AI and big data course, for each element in the list. Okay, we can use like for jelly in sequence print jelly plus jelly. What would be happen? if we go for that one. So can you guess? Can you please think about it? Here, any variable here saying take any item of the sequence and add that item plus itself until the number. What does it mean? Means saying each item, you can say jelly. This is item, any variable. We can replace the reason I changed to show this can be changed. I can change item would be same. So saying take each element plus itself. 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 4 plus 4, 5 plus 5. So it will be shows 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. See? Yes. For example, if I again similar this one, if I put item same. Okay, let's go for a while loop. While loops in Python continue executing a block of code as long as given condition remain true. This is very useful. For example, when we say 1 equal 1, while, let's consider I smaller than 5. This is condition, and print I is, we use that function curly bracket, and you may remember format I, then I equal I plus 1. So this is print I, okay, format I. These loops continue to execute as long as I is less than 5 until I start from I1, right here. I1 start assign 1 to I, and then I1 I2 because it's changing. In each iteration it prints the current value of I, then increments I by 1 because we increment 1. Once it becomes 5, condition I less than 5 is false, because if I come to 6 is not less than, then that is false. On loops stop. So what would be here shows, here it will be shows I is 1, I is 2, I is 3, I is 4, will not show I is 5. This is, yes, here you are. Okay, that's another important object which is useful for our controlling statement, which is, let me make 2, range. So range is another important generator. So range is a function create a sequence of numbers which is commonly used for iterating in a loop. For instance, when we say range 5, what would be, so range function, when we say like this generate a range of objects that represent numbers through the 0 to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It starts from 0 by default and goes up to but does not include in 5. So this is the range. So you can see until not including 5, 4. So let's give one example. For instance, for to print something. For I in range 5 column print I, it will be iterate. I would be it is like list, like sequence sec with what the list. I would be 0 print, and then come 1 2 3 4 should be 0 1 2 3 4 printed. Yes. And then we can use also we can convert we can convert the range object to the list. How? List range, for example, already we use 5. Through this code you can convert range. As I told you, it is including like a list. Through this one you can convert it. You will see like list start from 0 1 2 3 4, not 5. Let's check. Yes, exactly. Okay. One more important thing we discussed, it is list comprehensions. It was part of algorithm. You remember, right? List comprehension. List comprehension provide a concise, compact, or concise solution to create list in Python, because creating list sometimes is long, but you can go very compact one. List comprehension can replace longer loops or function call, making your code clear and more efficient. See, like this, let makes one list like 1 2 3 4, and then out like this. We will use through 1 4 item in x out. We are going to add something. Append item multi asterisk and print out. So what would be the result? We are saying read the item in X, means 1, 2, 3, try to be loop, and try to append this item to this empty list, but make it explanation 2. For example, 1 explanation 2 would be 1. 2 explanation 2 is 4. So make 1. So it should be one list, 1, 4, 3 power 2 is 9 and 16. Let's check it. Yes. So let's make a list. Here is a normal combination of list and 4, but I want to make list comprehension. How make it? Only short. Here, just item of that list, 4 item in X. This is equal this. See? Wow. Instead of writing a lot of things, here is the 2 list, 1, 4, print. This is coding block. But here, this is the list comprehension. Okay. Now let's go for function. Function we use, let's pick one. Okay. Function. Okay. One of the most famous sayings of programmers is, we call it, you may know, DRY is very famous expression. DRY means, this is a stand for don't repeat yourself. So in Python, function follow this rule. Don't repeat yourself. Function help you to define blocks of code that can be reused again. And you can pass parameter to function and have them return value. Okay, let's go for function. Function, as we explained before in the hands-on practice, hands-on definition part, we use def. For example, my function, we need to use parameter. Let's param1. We use it default. Column, and then print param1. We define function with the def keyword. The code define a function called myfunc. with the default parameter param1 set to default. The print function inside the function print the value of param. So this will be general. Then if I use like my phone, so this is the, so we, because there is nothing default, so we need to put, for instance, if I use same, let's say make here, I make it like new parameter param, it will be shows here new param. So let's make one, define the function like a square x, let's say return x power 2, then make a one, put the sequence there, that square there, for instance example 2, and then we need to print out. So what we try to do here, okay, I think we here, because of we don't need intention. Yes, so when you see this one, define a function called a square that takes a number x, square it, return the result. When we call a square 2, it return 4 and print out display 4. So we already see the function. Let's see a small function. How about, is it like list? We have comprehension list comprehension. Is there any small function? Yes. You remember lambda expression. So let's go for that one. Lambda expressions. So let's say, for instance, we define 1 times we define this function, right? Return power 2. This is our, so when we do this one, we can see like time times 2, like 2. So let's say times 2. So we define times 2 means make power 2. So result, this is for when we put the function like this, it would be 2. So if we want to use, this is the like long function, we want to make it short, so we can use lambda. So lambda var colon var, this is would be same. So this so this is okay because we didn't recall it. So now we are going to use this lambda in define one function like higher function inner we define these functions, right? And then inner and put the var. So we already defined this one. Here, this function which we define, we already defined here. Instead of number, we use the lambda. Lambda var so you see here, okay, I think we don't need this one. So the result is 4. In this code, we define the higher order function takes another function as its input argument. Then we call this function giving it our lambda or anonymous function. As you can see, this lambda is called like a normal function in higher function. Now, what we know about the function in general, let's talk about a specific function in Python standard library. So that would be, it is map and filter. Map and filter. The map function apply a function to all items in an input list. When we have a list, we want to apply one function. And filter, filter function filters items out of list based on the condition. Let's one example, like when we define a list 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. When we say map, we want, for example, times 2. Remember this function before? So that function, we define that part. We want to that function to the list that list, right? You remember we define make double. You put 2, make it power 2. So it's gonna be this is go to the memory, right? And then we bring it to list map times 2 on our list. Means the result should be 1 power 2 4 multiply, because this is times. We here make it times, right? It is, so that is multiply 2, actually power 2, because this is power 2. So should be 4 power 2 means 16. This is 25, 9. Yes, let's check. Yes, this is true. And let's use filter. We use lambda item. We can make a, as you remember, to make a odd or even number, we make a conditions here. So we are saying the item is here is even, then use it, we convert filter object list. So we are going to filter this one. So we run it, then make a list. So list, we bring this one inside the list. Then, so what would be run here? If I run it, here said lambda through the lambda set, make the condition if the odd, you need modulus operator, we already explained before. So here only 2 and 4 is a even, not this is the odd. So only this should be use the lambda operation which we define here. So we make it times 2 times is power 2. So make it power 2 only 2 and 4. Yes, 2 and 4. Okay, so we are going to finish the Python programming by the last, which is method. Methods are functions that are called on object and variable. For example, a string and list have method that you can use to manipulate them. So you can use like st, could say hello, my name is Abul Qasim Sadeghi Niaraki. Then you could say st. Then this is the object. I am using the class, and this is the object. Which object I am going to use here? Lower. So everything convert to lowercase. Everything lowercase. Here is the uppercase, right? This character should be changed to the, you see Abulqasem A already changed. So if make it upper, so all will be changed to upper. So if I use a split, then this will be a split my name. So you can see the result. Let's another one. Tweet equal go sports sport. So suppose we define this string, right? We already defined this one, and then when we say using the split and mentioning exactly from the hash, so from hash will be a split. So from the hash here, a split two parts. And then if you use saying exactly one means section one you in at index one, which is a sport, because this is index 0. When you split, this is index 0, index 1. So if I say 0, then will become go sports. Then so now you remember that we defined a dictionary in upper part. In the notebook, everything connected. When we run something, will be whole notebook will be applied. This is dictionary. Remember, we defined key one, item one before, right? Then if I use like based on the method, then keys means from that dictionary I need the key, so only shows the key. If I use items, then it will be shows keys and items. So let's say make a one list like 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's say 4. Use the pop method. This pop method removes the last item from the list and return it. Here it remove and return 3, leaving the first as a 1 and 2. So when I say pop, okay, because in Python we cannot use the number as we should use. So this pop remove the last item. For example, if I put like 4 and pop 3 will be shows the last item will be removed. So saying I remove from the list last item. So that means select 4. And can you tell me what remain in the list? Yes, when you remove 4, 3 items remain. For example, if you check the list, these 3 will come because we remove the last one. Okay, the last point, which is actually not part of methods, but typically this is not method which I am saying. It is there is one point remain which is very useful when we want to check something in the list or exists or not. For example, let's say X. When we say X in one list, 1, 2, or 3, so saying this item, it is asking question, is it this item inside this list? Yes, there is no. The answer is no. There is no. So should be false. Right? But if I use, for example, if my item was X like this, so answer is true. Yes. So this is very useful in the Python. Okay, great job. We already done and finished. This conclude that basic Python's crash course. We've already handled it. You learn a lot of things about the key Python concept, such as data types and data structures and algorithms. So through the different library. So let me quickly recap. So we already started about the data type and data structure, talk about the data type, basic arithmetic operations. We already talked variable assignment, when you assign something, a string, talk about the booleans. This is the simple data types. And then we go for some sort of talk about some specific use method. Here we work basically. You can work a lot. For instance, when you define the some string, you can, when I am using name, you can put like method. You use this object of this class. So you can play and work. For example, we talk only about the format. You can try it about this is very easy. I just open the highway for you to learn if you don't know the Python. So only I use one, then you can use the other, object. Then we talk about the data structure, talk about the list showing with the bracket, and talk about nested list, dictionary, which is used the curly bracket, and then we want through the tuple using the parentheses, as well as dictionary tuple, and set, which is curly bracket. Then we go through the algorithm, comparison operation, logical operation, control structure like if, elif, and else, for loop, while loop, range. We talk list comprehension is a specific show like lambda for the function. We talk about the function use the def, short function, concise function, which is lambda. We already map and filter useful for map some item to the specific part of the item. And methods, we already shows the object and methods. This is very important and critical part of the Python. So we finish hands-on exercise on Python. This video a little bit longer, sorry for that, but I want to just finish the hands-on Python part. And now you should feel free to do any Python programming. Hands-on concept plus hands-on practice, theoretical part of the Python. So now is ready, and welcome to the new era for our AI and big data. Now you equip with the Python. Thank you very much.